Have you heard the news? Nick Rees, the Mayor of Melbourne, is going to make the Birrarung, the Yarra River, swimmable. It's about time. It's been too polluted, it's been too unsafe, it's been too inaccessible for far too long. Victoria's had the big build. It's time for the big swim. So let's begin.
I'm very proud of the Birrarung, and my hope for it is that it could be a place of great pride for all Melburnians.
The Birrarung means the whole world to me. It's the lifeblood of Melbourne and it's at the centre of my being.
I used to walk along the river, I used to run along the river, but until I actually immersed myself in the river, I felt like I didn't know it as well as I do now.
I personally love the Birrarung. I come here to clear my head, to walk. It's sort of my safe space.
The Birrarung means possibility, it means hope, it means connection to the land and the waterways, it means the very existence of Melbourne.
This moment's a breakthrough. COVID-19 was the circuit breaker, but now this is when we're going to take off.
I'm hoping that people will go, wow, those trailblazers, they were so great and so committed. And this was the time when this city turned around its relationship and got back to living in reciprocity.
It'd be amazing, yeah, like for people to be able to swim in and around the urban context of Yarra. It'd be, it'd create an incredible public amenity.
It would be a place where people come to either after work or at lunchtime, where they gather with community, where they have a dip in the water. Maybe there's a sauna there, they can hop in and out of the river, get into the sauna, hop back in, but just a place where people belong and are part of a community of river swimmers.
The idea of a swimmable city, it's sort of like the other side of the bell curve. We've built these cities that are otherising nature, and nature's now becoming part of the conversation, and that's pretty exciting.
I want us to be able to look back and laugh that this was the dark ages, and can you believe that we didn't actually that we had it that polluted that we couldn't actually swim.
It would make Melbourne an even better city than it already is, and I think it would bring to the forefront, I think, of our consciousness the fact that the Birrarung really is our lifeblood and something we take for granted.
So exciting, because imagine the summer's day, like 30-degree heat, and just being able to jump in the river, enjoy the day, be with your friends, like be out in nature, hear the birds. There's actually so many birds right now, and just be there. That would be amazing.
It was a really unique race at the River Seine. It was amazing, connecting with Paris, being right there in the middle, crowds coming to watch me, and I think it proved that a sport can create that platform to make change. Seen at the Paris Olympic Games that a similar river going from a very similar city can be cleaned up if the money's there and the investment's there and the audience is there. I just want to see that in the Thames. It can be done. It really can be done.
Something like this is going to happen in Baltimore in the next few years, and I'm really excited to invite people to come and swim there. But being here and talking to everyone, it's just really exciting. I've already learned a lot, and swimming across, everyone cheering was pretty awesome. I'm working towards creating a Baltimore Open Water Swimmers, a nonprofit group that's going to host group swims and events, different swim distances, and hopefully invite people from around the world to come to Baltimore.
What do you think, Saliani?
It was incredible to be here. I think, you know, as someone who's been working for a decade in urban swimming, I am so excited to see the community, the international community coming together. We are excited that we just announced the construction of the flotation part of our pool that'll be floating up to New York soon to start construction of the actual pool and installation of the filters. We did a pilot of the filtration system last summer in the river, and so we understood how to scale it up.
What do you think, Hank?
It's amazing. Yeah, look what a fun and experience. The water is fantastic. We're in Rotterdam with so many people. Now we have to get to UN to agree on a Swimmable Cities Day.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Some decisions need some courage to do, but I mean, when you're down, I just try. If it's sustainability, if it's something else, or swimmability like here, the city becomes way more vibrant and amazing.
It's so different to home because in Brussels it's really difficult to get things done. We struggle with politics mainly, with the impossibility to find compromises. Shape coalitions between different stakeholders, and it seems here in Rotterdam everything is possible. It's a fantastic place, people have fun, people enjoy the place. It shows how worthy it is to put energy into it, and it gives us also energy to go down to Belgium, to Brussels, and just continue fighting.
It's fun to see all the possibilities we could bring home back to Australia, but also learn from the challenges. There's so much that's in common here that there is back in Sydney and in Melbourne.
We've literally just had the opening of the world's first Swimmable Cities Summit here in the Rheinhaven in Rotterdam. It's been incredible. We had Katie Pumphrey from Baltimore and Toby Robinson swim from the other side of the harbour. We were telling people that Toby swam across the English Channel, which Katie has actually done, soon to be 3 times. Toby swam in the River Seine during the Olympics. We had 180 people in waves jumping in and splashing, but just the joy in people's faces. Young kids from here in Rotterdam were jumping in as part of that. But I guess the message that we have is that this is possible at cities around the world. We want to support them on those journeys. We've seen Paris set an incredible standard through the Paris Olympics. We see a new wave of cities that are starting these journeys. So by supporting intercity and interdisciplinary knowledge sharing, it's creating ways to navigate through the challenges that we know have been solved in other places. So it's a journey from being impossible to possible very quickly.
I just feel like it's not okay for our river not to be safe and healthy enough for kids to be able to come down and touch and play in the water safely.
A huge sense of disappointment because I'm a realist and I checked the EPA's site. But what it did for me was that it reinforced my determination to work on the reasons why we can't swim in the Birrarung.
So I was really excited to bring the boys down here for World Water Day, an opportunity to swim in the Birrarung with them. Ultimately, we weren't able to do that because of the water quality. What it turned into instead was a bit of a sad day because it was a really visceral reminder of the world and the river that we're leaving for that next generation.
I think we had a lot of anticipation, we had a lot of excitement, and it was really beautiful having community come together, but ultimately it felt kind of disappointing that the reality is that we are subject to the conditions of what they are.
There was a feeling of injustice or something of like, you know, there's this beautiful resource here. It was a beautiful morning, but there was too much pollution in the river, so it felt unfair, I'd say.
At the moment, we can swim out in Port Phillip Bay, but we can't swim from the bay through the CBD, out along the river to Herring Island where we are now, until we get to Deep Rock, or actually the Gipp Street Bridge. So we're trying to tap into our history to create this future vision so that Melbourne can become a swimmable city again.
A main reason the Birrarung's not swimmable is because of all the stormwater that comes off the catchment unfiltered into the river.
Psychologically is the main reason. I'm sure you'd survive if you swim in it. People fall in and they survive. I think the main reason is a misalignment between reality and people's perceptions.
The challenges we have are to change public perception. So until people believe that the river's swimmable,
pollution upstream, even in the city, everywhere you go in the river, from people to big companies, organizations, everything, we forget that everything we throw out to the ground, the streets, the rainwater, everything goes to our rivers, to our waterways, so it's polluted. Yeah.
The Yarra River Keeper Association is putting stormwater at the centre of its focus for advocacy, and we want to ensure that all stormwater is properly treated before being discharged to the river.
Our approach is very much grassroots, so we're trying to organise, and we've done some work so far, is regular swims with groups of people, spreading the word. Word of mouth is the best form of marketing.
I come down about 3 mornings a week. It's often freezing, especially in the winter, like it was this morning. But coming here, joining with other women, and then immersing ourselves in the cold, and then somehow getting in this water, it feels like I've had a trip to the country.
The movement is growing. We've seen it around the world. I definitely notice it here when I swim here. A lot more acceptance. The comments that we get from people are much more, "Oh, good on you," and "That's really fantastic," and "I might come and join you." Whereas in the original stages, it was shock that we were swimming, and I'm definitely starting to see that shift in mindset of people.
Regeneration Projects has the International Swimmable Cities program, and this is based on the Swimmable Cities Charter that starts with the right to swim. the idea that safe, healthy and swimmable urban waterways should be accessible to all people. We are one of the actors in the movement towards the Lower Yarra being swimmable. We've been involved since 2019 and it's continuing to grow. So we're proud to team up with actors like the City of Yarra and to run programs so that community members to get involved in shaping the river's future.
My PhD was looking at the contributions that tourism can make to regenerating places and communities, and the case study that I worked on was looking at how could that contribute to regenerating this beautiful Birrarung River.
We are currently looking at designing a stormwater forum where we bring unusual actors, whether it's community members, technical experts, global case studies, First Nations, businesses, just to talk about why is stormwater the villain it is? What is the opportunity in revaluing stormwater? How do we start moving towards a place where we are actually designing interventions to actually minimise what is coming into our river?
Coming from a background in state government, what I'm doing through Regen Melbourne and working on the Swimmable Birrarung project is trying to make sure that that work is being put in front of state government in particular, and navigating all the different parts of state government that are going to need to pull some heavy levers to make sure that we really can make the Birrarung swimmable.
I had a person who joined probably 6 months ago. They really didn't have any environmental background at all, but were just super keen to get involved, and now they're helping organise one of our major events for Yarra River Fest in September.
I worked with Matt and Pratush. We worked together to do the Swimmable Cities Handbook, basically hearing all the information from Matt, all his knowledge, and putting together in this beautiful handbook that can be passed around for information about places around the world where people currently swim, places that have been transformed or have always had swimmable places, and the different types they are, so from rivers to lakes to saunas, every different type. And yeah, it's beautiful. You guys should go online and see it.
Your studio is a business my brother and I set up recently. It is stress resilience training and sports recovery, but predominantly stress resilience training through 3 modalities: breathwork and hot and cold contrast therapy.
But ultimately, I've had some really good conversations with architect Grounded Studios, thinking about what would it look like if baked as a structure could actually support regenerating the river or contribute in some way, shape or form.
I think kind of saunas, plunge pools situated next to the banks of the river, possibly on a float-in structure, possibly on the land, and ideally to be able to kind of go have a sauna, and then if it was possible to be able to actually swim in the actual Yarra after to rinse off, a place to chill and to relax.
Évidemment, les représentants de la Fédération française de natation qui sont là et qui collaborent avec nous, et Camille Lacour qui est là aussi, que je remercie. C'est important.
Je le sais, et logistique qui vous a demandé beaucoup. D'ailleurs, vous êtes en nombre ce matin et ça a été un travail collectif. Donc remercier toutes et tous, parce que je sais que jusqu'à très tard vendredi soir, vous avez œuvré.
You ready?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go.
Allez Bénédicte, encore une fois.
Alright, are we ready? Are you happy?
Yes, so happy.
This is
I like swimmable cities, and I belong to Ourcq Polaire, so we are very happy being here in the Seine. It was forbidden up to 1923, and this year it's authorized for all the people. Some people are respectful of nature, and in the city of Paris, it's an example for all the country. And we know about some cities where nothing was possible and where things are moving. So it's very good.
Yeah, well,
I hope that in Australia.
Yeah, in Australia, well, we need to clean up the Birrarung, the Yarra River, so that we can do this. But I think Paris is showing us an example of what's possible, you know. Here I am swimming in the River Seine, something that many people had thought was impossible. And to think about how we've been working with the International Swimmable Cities movement, and since launching the charter in July last year, just before the Paris Olympics, it have grown to be 150 organisations across 80 cities and 30 countries around the world. We've just had our first summit in Rotterdam, 200 people from around the world standing up for the right to swim and nature rights. So I think this is super exciting for the next wave of the international movement and the opportunity for people to get involved in this next phase. So we're doing all kinds of things, a community of practice, international research, floating labs, but nothing beats actually taking a dip. So thank you to Paris and for setting this example so that it takes away the fear and the anxiety and shows us what's possible to create for the next generation. Let's swim together. What's this like, swimming here?
Wow, it's great in the middle of Paris that you can actually swim. And I think that not too many people believe that that they would actually be able to realize this, but then also to do it after the games, because everybody thought, well, if it doesn't happen during the games in that summer, then it won't ever happen because the push is gone. But now there we are. There's 3 locations and it's working. I think everybody was talking about swimming in the Seine River last summer because of the games. And we of course had also a couple of big events in Holland, the ALS swim in Amsterdam, right?
It's the city swim, yeah.
And that is working. It's much more common nowadays to swim in the city than it used to be, than it was 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When I studied in Amsterdam in the 80s, nobody thought well, actually, when you fell into the water, you had to go immediately to hospital to be vaccinated. That was the situation. I was swimming.
Yeah. And it shows that potential for the rivers to be cleaned and new possibilities. And then you're saying that your daughter has been swimming in the Amstel River, so across generations.
Actually.
The river deserves to be swimmable, and not just for us, but for everyone, the creatures, we're the ones that made it not swimmable. So yeah, it's the right of the river.
Melbourne needs a swimmable Yarra because everyone should have access to natural spaces.
We need a swimmable Yarra because the river is as vital to our health and our well-being and our life as the air we breathe.
Yeah, you can see the state of the river and the state of people's mental well-being at the moment. So I think, if that river was clear water, flowing water, and, people were playing and swimming in it and active in it every day, I think you'd see a much more positive shift in people's mental well-being.
I would like all politicians to commit to the health of the Yarra Birrarung because it's fundamental to our mental, spiritual and physical well-being, as well as all the creatures that depend on it.
I would love to see parties across the whole spectrum get behind the Birrarung. That means that we'd see commitments to changing policy to make the Lower Yarra accessible. It would mean that we'd see improvements to water quality and also to accessibility. But the biggest thing is that political leaders would unite behind this instead of turn it into a division.
The biggest commitment I'd like to see is infrastructure. I think the greatest way to raise awareness is for people to see it with their own eyes, and places like this with infrastructure that people can get into the river, sit by the river, enjoy the river, is the biggest game changer in my opinion.
We really need to see political leaders, especially at a state level, embracing more community-based action. I think empowering more community groups to do that sort of grunt work around getting people involved in projects around the Birrarung, as well as educating communities about the Birrarung.
Can you imagine if the Minister for Environment was committed to making the river healthy, thriving and swimmable again, and actually putting money behind that, the political support behind that, the resources behind that. I think I'd like to see that become a thing, as well as signing onto the Swimmable Cities Charter. That would be, that'd be great.
People can get involved by joining a local community group, or even just interacting with the Yarra and talking to your local MPs about it.
Just start swimming. Just get in, have a paddle.
People can get involved in the movement by just talking about it. So people are often gobsmacked that I swim in the river. The fact that I swim in the river is an opportunity to talk about the health of the river. And if we just keep talking, the momentum will build and everyone will appreciate how important it is to have a swimmable river.
Big swim, let's begin.
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 Big swim, let's begin. Big swim, let's begin.
Big swim, let's begin.
Let's begin by getting our feet in the water first. Let's paddle first, swim later.
Big swim, let's begin.
Big swim, let's begin.
Big swim, let's begin.